So I attended USC back in 2013 when I was obtaining my master's in social work.
Mhm.
And so I was already at a pivotal point in my life when I was upset with the public education system and how Black and brown children were always getting the short end of the stick.
Always.
And so I don't think that when I actually got my attending my master's program, I was just noticing like, okay, I'm going to spend $44,000 per year just for 2 years, Shar. So that's $88,000. And when I basically graduate, the salary that they're going to start me off at as a social worker is going to be less than that. So I asked them, I said, okay, because my first starting off salary when I had graduated from USC, my first job was at KIPP Philosophers Academy in South Central. Mm-hmm. And so they started me off at like $56,000. And so you can basically receive that same type of salary with a bachelor's degree if you work yourself up the corporate ladder.
Right.
So it just didn't scale right, just having to spend all this money on education, especially Black and brown students that even attending, USC, that we were like Dalmatians, in that school, because there's not so many of us. But right. It just seemed like we were already behind, but the financial literacy we lacked, which could have made us make better informed decisions when it comes to like making college decisions and choosing majors and things like that. So I had launched the program 6 months into my master's program at USC. And that's when I started Dynasty's United Youth Association. And so it was still a lot because I was working 2 jobs, I was attending school, and then I was also founding this organization. So I submitted a proposal to the Los Angeles Public Library and told them about the programs and the services that I wanted to offer to the community. But prior to that, I was always a student. So therefore, I was able to do research in the community and conduct a needs assessment to kind of identify what the needs were in the community, which propelled me to then go back to the library and say, hey, when I'm in the library, this is what I'm noticing, this is how I can help. And so I wrote a proposal. They allowed me to start my program in the libraries. And the first 2 months, I only had 2 students, so it was real slow. And then 6 months later, it just grew. And I went from 1 library to 2 libraries, 3 libraries, but I was still attending. I was still graduated from USC during this time. But I still had to go look for a job after that. And then I was working at KIPP as a counselor. And then I ended up getting hired at Da Vinci Rise as a counselor. And so last year in July, I decided to take that jump and basically say, okay, I've been working as a school counselor for a few years now. Now it's time to resign and go full with DUYA. So DUYA was about 7 years old at that time. And then I was able to transition out of corporate that way. So I worked the entire time, never got paid from DUYA. I was never on payroll, still not on payroll. Hopefully it will be this year, speaking into existence, but
yes,
it was a journey.